In 1878, a young man named Frank Winfield Woolworth had an idea. He wanted to sell things for 5 cents. At the time, most stores did not have set prices. Customers had to haggle with the shopkeeper. This could be a frustrating experience. Frank thought people would like a store where everything had a fixed price. Frank opened his first store in Utica, New York. The store was called Woolworth's Great 5-Cent Store. It was not a success. Frank quickly learned a lesson. People wanted more than just 5-cent items. Frank did not give up. He opened a new store in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. This time he tried something different. He offered items for both 5 and 10 cents. This new store was a hit. People loved the variety and the low prices. Frank's idea was simple but powerful. He realized that people loved a bargain. He also understood that a fixed price made shopping easier and faster. These ideas would become the foundation of his retail empire. Frank's success did not come easy. He faced many challenges in those early years, but he persevered, learning from his mistakes and refining his ideas. His determination and vision laid the groundwork for what would become one of America's most iconic retailers. Frank Woolworth's success wasn't just about low prices. It was also about presentation and efficiency. He pioneered a new way of running a store. This became known as the Woolworth formula. One key element was the open display concept. Goods were laid out on tables, easy to see and touch. This encouraged shoppers to browse and make impulse purchases. Before Woolworth, stores kept most items behind counters. Another innovation was the fixed price. Every item had a clearly marked price tag. This eliminated haggling and made the checkout process faster. Customers appreciated the transparency and ease of shopping. Woolworth also understood the importance of high volume. He kept his prices low to sell more items. This strategy, known as piling it high and selling it cheap, proved incredibly successful. The more people bought, the lower he could keep his prices. The Woolworth formula revolutionized retailing. It created a shopping experience that was efficient, affordable, and enjoyable. This formula would be copied by countless other retailers in the decades to come. With a winning formula in place, Woolworth's business boomed. He expanded rapidly, opening new stores across the Northeast. He carefully selected locations in busy downtown areas with high foot traffic. Woolworth believed in reinvesting his profits back into the business. This allowed him to open new stores at an astonishing pace. By 1900, just 2 decades after his first store, he had nearly 60 stores across the country. As his business grew, Woolworth maintained a hands-on approach. He personally visited stores, checking on operations and looking for ways to improve. He was known for his keen eye for detail and his commitment to customer satisfaction. Woolworth also understood the importance of building a strong team. He surrounded himself with talented managers and buyers. He empowered them to make decisions and take ownership of their work. This created a loyal and dedicated workforce that helped drive the company's success. Woolworths continued its incredible growth in the early 20th century. It expanded beyond the Northeast, opening stores across the United States. Woolworths became a familiar sight in cities and towns of all sizes. The company adapted its offerings to meet the needs of local communities. It sold a wide range of goods from household items and clothing to toys and candy. Woolworths became a one-stop shop for everything people needed. One of Woolworth's most popular features was its lunch counter. These counters offered affordable meals to shoppers on the go. They became a social hub in many communities, a place for people to gather and connect. Woolworth's success was fueled by its ability to provide value and convenience to a wide customer base. Its stores were bright, clean, and welcoming. They offered a shopping experience that was both familiar and exciting. Woolworths had become an integral part of American life. Section 5. The Challenges of Change. Seeds of Decline. Despite its dominance, challenges began to emerge for Woolworths by the mid-20th century. The retail landscape was changing, and the company struggled to keep up with these shifts. One significant change was the rise of suburban shopping malls. As more Americans moved to the suburbs, they sought shopping destinations closer to home. Woolworths, with its focus on downtown locations, missed out on this trend. Another challenge was the growing popularity of discount stores. Retailers like Kmart and Walmart offered a wider selection of goods at even lower prices. These discounters appealed to budget-conscious shoppers, putting pressure on Woolworth's price-driven model. Woolworths also faced internal challenges. The company had become bureaucratic and slow to adapt. Decision-making was centralized, stifling innovation at the store level. New ideas and merchandise were slow to reach the shelves. These challenges, both internal and external, began to chip away at Woolworth's dominance. The company that had once been a retail pioneer was struggling to keep pace with a changing world. Section 6. The rise of the superstores. Competition heats up. The 1970s and 1980s saw the emergence of a new breed of retailer, the superstore. These massive stores offered an overwhelming selection of products under one roof. They combined groceries, apparel, electronics, and home goods, all at discounted prices. Walmart in particular emerged as a dominant force in retail. Its focus on low prices, wide selection, and efficient operations resonated with shoppers. Walmart expanded rapidly, opening stores across the country and putting pressure on traditional retailers like Woolworth's. The rise of superstores changed consumer expectations. Shoppers became accustomed to one-stop shopping and deep discounts. Woolworth's, with its smaller stores and limited selection, struggled to compete. Its once innovative five and dime model now felt outdated and inconvenient. Despite the growing competition, Woolworth's was slow to adapt. It dabbled in discount retailing with its Woolco chain, but these efforts were ultimately unsuccessful. The company seemed reluctant to abandon its traditional format, even as it became increasingly clear that change was needed. Section 7. A changing world. Woolworth's struggles to adapt. By the 1980s, Woolworth's was facing a perfect storm of challenges. Competition was fierce, consumer preferences were shifting, and the company was slow to innovate. Its once thriving retail empire was crumbling. The company made several attempts to revitalize its business. It closed unprofitable stores, experimented with new formats, and even tried to enter the specialty retail market. However, these efforts were too little, too late. One of the most significant missteps was Woolworth's failure to embrace online retail. As e-commerce emerged in the 1990s, companies like Amazon were revolutionizing the way people shopped. Woolworth's, however, remained fixated on its brick-and-mortar stores, failing to capitalize on this transformative technology. The company's struggles were evident in its financial performance. Sales declined, profits dwindled, and investor confidence waned. Woolworth's, once a symbol of American retail prowess, was now seen as a relic of a bygone era. Section 8. The end of an era. Woolworth's closes its doors. In July 1997, Woolworth's made the difficult decision to close its remaining 400 stores in the United States. The announcement marked the end of an era for the iconic retailer that had once been a fixture in communities across the country. The closures resulted in the loss of thousands of jobs and left a void in many downtown areas. For generations of Americans, Woolworth's had been more than just a store. It was a place where they shopped for school supplies, grabbed lunch at the counter, and created lasting memories. The demise of Woolworth's serves as a cautionary tale for businesses in any industry. It highlights the importance of adaptability, innovation, and a willingness to embrace change. Woolworth's, once a pioneer in retail, became a victim of its own success, clinging to outdated models and failing to adapt to a rapidly evolving marketplace. While the Woolworth's name may be gone from the American retail landscape, its legacy lives on. The company's innovative spirit, focus on value, and commitment to customer service continue to inspire entrepreneurs and shape the retail industry today. Section 9. Lessons from the five and dime Woolworth's legacy. The story of Woolworth's is a reminder that even the most successful businesses are not immune to failure. The company's inability to adapt to changing consumer preferences, increased competition, and the rise of new retail formats ultimately led to its demise. Woolworth's rise and fall offer valuable lessons for businesses today. Embrace innovation. The retail landscape is constantly evolving. Businesses must be willing to innovate and adapt to new technologies, trends, and consumer behaviors to stay ahead of the curve. Listen to your customers. Woolworth's lost touch with its core customers. Businesses must listen to their customers and be responsive to their changing needs and preferences. Don't be afraid to change. Woolworth's was slow to change its business model, even as it became clear that it was no longer sustainable. Companies must be willing to make difficult decisions and adapt their strategies to remain competitive. Though Woolworth's is gone, it left a lasting impact. It pioneered retail concepts still used today. Its story reminds us that success is not guaranteed, Businesses must innovate and adapt to thrive in a constantly changing world.